The Springboks have released their squad to take on Argentina in a one-off test match and for the greatest rivalry series. Now, of course, this is the initial squad. I think it will be trimmed down a little bit, but some of the big boys are back, some of the big names are back, and there's a lot to talk about. I will be doing more videos talking about who should Ricey pick, who should be the team to face the All Blacks in those incredibly massive test matches coming up. I will also be doing a preview for this series, going over why it is the biggest rivalry in rugby and why to Springbok fans and All Blacks fans this means so much. But we'll go into the squad. But before we do, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really do appreciate all the support. We've just hit 3,000 subscribers. I honestly cannot believe it. I mean, we started this a few months ago, 3,000 already. I think it's 3,300 already. We're trying to go for 10,000. We're trying to go for 100,000. We have some massive plans with the channel. We're trying to get to South Africa along the lines, back home to go watch a game there. We're trying to go to Ireland this year for the Springboks Ireland test match as well. We're trying to do a lot more things. We're going to also have a video coming out about what kind of direction the channel is going in. We've got a new setup, a new backdrop. We're going to put the jerseys up as well. So thank you so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. So let's get right into the squad. Starting off with the props, we have Thomas du Toit, Volkulo, Oxenchair, Zachary Porton, Carlos Sardi, Gerard Steenkamp, Bowen Venter, and of course on the bench still, utility forwards, Jan-Hendrik Wessels. So he always plays off the bench, that's why I said that. But those props right there just show that the Springboks right now have so much depth in the front row. I mean, on any given day, Thomas du Toit or Volkulo or Carlos Sardi can start. We have some incredible players for the Springboks, and I will say, I think Carlos Sardi's actually worked his way up the rankings right now, because that Wales game, he showed the coaches something that they haven't seen in a while. A player like that coming onto the scene that can scrum like a Volku, scrum like a Thomas du Toit, and scrum like an Oxenchair. I mean, the size of him. Look at the size of that guy. He's got legs the same size as Volkulo. He is built for test match rugby. He's built for international rugby. And I think him going to Bordeaux was one of the best things that could have happened to him in his career, because it's almost like he's just had a fresh new start. He was good at the Sharks without being great. He's gone to Bordeaux. He's playing for one of, if not arguably, the best club team in the world. And he's thriving there. He's one of the best players there as well. So the props there are stacked. I mean, Zachary Porton also has such high upside. I mean, he's got so much potential because it's such a high ceiling. Gerard Steenkamp also, every single time he plays for the Springboks, he never has a bad game. For me, looking at this right now, I think the four props that if I was to choose a team right now would probably be Oxenchair and Thomas du Toit starting with the likes of a Gerard Steenkamp and a Volkulo off the bench. But I will say, if he keeps on going this way, I think Carlos Sardi might be putting a lot of pressure on Volkulo, because around the park as well, Carlos Sardi is a very good player, very high work rate, good with the ball carrying as well. Moving on to the hookers, we have Johan Grobelaar and Malcolm Marx. Now, of course, Jan-Hendrik Wessels can play prop, he can play hooker as well. And of course, Marco van Staden now is a jack of all trades. What a player for the Springboks, by the way, but he can play also in the hooker position and the loose forwards. Of course, from those two guys, Malcolm Marx is the starter. He is the main guy. But Johan Grobelaar is not bad either. He's had a good season for the Bulls. He's developing his game as well, becoming more of a threat over the ball, slowing down the opposition ball, and a much better player around the park. But that being said, I actually think maybe, I won't say too much about the team I will select, but I think Jan-Hendrik Wessels might be the backup hooker going forward, because he can play a prop as well. He can play at lock as well. Very good player off the bench, very good utility forward. And I think right now in international rugby, and especially in the Springbok squad, guys that can play a utility position, the guys that can play a lot of positions, not just one position, not just a specialist, especially for the bench, they might be selected in front of those guys that might just be specialists coming off the bench. I think the only position where you really need specialists coming from the bench is the two props and the scrum-half. I think other than that, if a guy can play hooker and he's coming off the bench to play prop or play lock, that's perfect. I mean, like a guy like Marco van Staden could have a big role going forward because of that exact reason. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do, because Malcolm Marx is basically an 80-minute player. He plays 70 minutes to 80 minutes every single game. Moving on to the locks, and there's a few big names back right now. Louis de Jager is back, Eben Etzebeth is back, Ruan Nortje is back, and of course, they're in the utility forwards, the guys that can play lock, Pieter-Steph du Toit, Franco Mostert, Vincent Chichuka, and of course, Kobus Wisse. I mean, there's a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of important decisions to be made there for the lock position. Will Louis de Jager be ready right now to go and play the All Blacks, who have been really good in their first 3 games? Will Eben Etzebeth be ready? He had a very poor season last year, got an injury, obviously got the ban as well, came back, got an injury. What's he going to be like? So I think I do expect those guys to play against Argentina, but I think right now the number one choice lock in the entire Springbok squad, it's got to be Ruan Nortje. He has to be playing. He is the most important lock right right now. The guy in form, one of those natural leaders as well. He's not the captain of the team, but he plays like a captain. He plays like a leader. And I do expect him to probably be one of those guys in contention for the captaincy for 2031 for the next World Cup. So very interesting to see what they will do there. Cobus Visser had a bit of a poor start against Scotland in that game that he played for South Africa. But other than that, after that moment, after that big run, that big carry, he's been playing with confidence. His ball carrying has been absolutely incredible. And he could be a Bok bolster to really bolster this forward pack. A big ball carrier as well, just like his brother. I think he might be climbing his way up the ranks. I mean, can you imagine a Cobus Visser and a Jasper Visser coming around the corner together? That is a scary sight for any opposition in the world. So I think there will be updates coming from that, from the lock department. Not too sure if they're really sure yet, if the coaches are even sure who their locks are right now. So let me know down below in the comments, who do you think should be the lock pairing? Should it be the standard Eben Etzebeth and Ruan Nortje, or will they try things out? Or will they actually, from game to game, change a few things around? Let me know down below, because there's actually a lot of options they can do. But moving on to the loose forwards, and this is where we are stacked. The Springboks are absolutely stacked at loose forward. We have Paul de Villiers, the informed player, Ben Jason Dixon, who's been pretty good from the bench recently, Cameron Hanekom, who wasn't given as many opportunities as I thought, but still the coaches rate him high. They've got him here in the squad. He could have a big impact as well in that Kwagga Smith role. Siya Kolisi. Every time Siya Kolisi puts on the Springbok jersey, he takes his game to another level. One of the best ball carriers, and he has big game-changing moments as well. But a lot to talk about in future videos for Paul de Villiers, Cameron Hanekom, and Siya Kolisi. Who will get the jersey? Who will be those two guys going forward? For me personally, probably Siya Kolisi will start with a guy like Paul de Villiers playing a Kwagga Smith role from the bench. But when I think about it, Cameron Hanekom could play that role so well. He's got the athletic ability as well. So a lot of decisions to be made. Ulrich Lowe as well. And Ulrich Lowe on any given day can be one of the best loose forwards in the world. I mean, they call him the sheriff for a reason. He really does bully people, and he makes sure people knows about it. But I will say the last season for him probably hasn't been his best, but he's been coming back from a big injury as well. But he's got the potential. And I mean, guys like Evan Roos, sent back to their club teams as well. But we'll talk more about those guys as well that have been sent back. And I think they will have an impact later in the year as well. Jasper Visser, number 8, he will be in the number 8 jersey. I think Jasper Visser and Peter Steph du Toit are probably the two guys guaranteed from the locks and loose forwards to be playing in every single game. I think Ruan Nortje, Peter Steph du Toit, and Jasper Visser, those 3 guys 100% will be playing in every single game, no doubt about it, especially if it's first choice team. Then utility forwards there, Peter Steph du Toit, Franco Mostert, Vincent Chichuka, Marco van Staden, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, and Cobus Visser. Having Cobus Visser in the utility forwards there is actually really interesting to me. It means they can see that he can play loose forward as well. He can probably play 8, he can play 6, he can play 7. For South Africa, he probably will be more suited to number 7 than the other positions in the loose forwards. Of course, he is a lock, but I think number 7 in that Peter Steph role as well could be something we could see going forward. But I think he will probably have a good chance of making a spot in the team. But I mean, Vincent Chichuka's there because he's had a good season in the URC for the Sharks. He is a utility player as well, and once again, being a utility player gets you a spot in the team. Franco Mostert can play 7, can play lock, phenomenal player. Peter Steph du Toit can play 7, can play lock, one of the best players in the world. Jan-Hendrik Wessels can play hooker, can play prop, can play lock as well. So if you can play more positions than one, more than likely you will be in the team. Moving on to the backline though, and the forward pack looks absolutely stacked, by the way. Some incredible players there. But I will say I am a little bit nervous about some of these guys coming back from injury and getting put in the team right away. Not sure what Louis Jager's form's been like. Not sure at all what Eben Etzebeth's going to be like, because when he came back for the Sharks, he was quite poor. His form hasn't been the best. He's getting a bit older. Will he be able to come around the corner and carry like a Cobus Visser right now? I don't know. Or like a Peter Steph du Toit? I just don't know what they're going to do there. Maybe Peter Steph du Toit will move to lock. I have no idea. But we'll talk more about it. There's so many good, interesting things happening that we can talk about. Let me know, what would your forward pack be down below in the comments. But moving on to the backline, the Scrum-halves. No Embrose Papit. He's been sent back to the Bulls now to train there and play against the All Blacks. I do think he has a spot in the team still. He is one of the best players in the world right now. He's on form, playing some good rugby. But Herschel Jantjies came off the bench against Wales and had a really good game in Durban. Slippery conditions, humid conditions. The ball was like a bar of soap. But he was putting the balls on a dime there, playing some incredible rugby. And Morne van der Berg is back. And for me personally, I would probably have Embrose Papit there over Morne van der Berg. But the coaches like him. He's a physical player. He does add a lot to the team. And he is a good player right now in some very good form as well. I do of course think Cobus Reinach and Grant Williams, those two will be the starters. They are the most important players currently. Whoever starts, I'm not sure. I think it's whoever plays 10 alongside them. I think if Manie Boks starts at 10, it's Grant Williams alongside of him. If it's Sasha and Ngomazulu who starts at 10, it's Cobus Reinach alongside him. So very interesting kind of things happening, the dynamic of how it works, the combinations as well. But Grant Williams and Manie Boks have been building a very good combination together over the last few years. And same thing with now Cobus Reinach and Sasha and Ngomazulu at the Stormers. So keep those guys playing together. If Manie Boks and Grant Williams comes off the bench, they'll make a big impact just like they always do. But moving on to the Fly-halves. 4 Fly-halves selected here. Manie Boks, Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu makes his comeback. Really good to see him there. He had a bit of an injury scare as well. Glad that he is back now for this tour. Vusi Moyo, the young under-20 fly-half, made his debut against Wales, was very solid, very composed as well. Good kicking boots as well. He has a bright future in South African rugby. Yakin Ahmed as well from the under-20s. He was absolutely brilliant. I think those two are going to have some very good battles for the Sharks and the Stormers in the future. And then, of course, Handré Pollard as well. From these guys, I think Sasha Ngomazulu and Manie Boks probably are my top two choices. I mean, Manie Boks has been awesome recently, pulling the strings for the Springboks. Great kicking out of hand, great kicking for the line. Just don't let him kick for the poles, and he will be one of the most important players in the team. Sasha Ngomazulu's not been that good off the tee either this year. That's why I think Cheslin Kolbe will take the kicking duties for these tours. He's been kicking for his club in Japan. He's a great kicker as well. There's other players that can kick. And if Manie Boks and Sasha Ngomazulu had to kick, they can still get some tough kicks over. But I don't think either of them should be the number one choice kicker right now. That's just my opinion based on their current kicking form. And I think against the All Blacks, against Argentina, and especially for the All Blacks series, you just need kickers that can kick at an 85 to 100% rate. That's just what you need. But 4 fly-halves there, 4 completely different fly-halves. I think if you had to put all of those fly-halves together, I think Manie Boks is probably the guy that has a bit of everything from each of those guys. Handré Pollard's physical, he's good with his boot, good for kicking for poles, solid player. Vusi Moyo, solid player, exciting, composed head on his shoulders. Sasha Ngomazulu's got the X factor, the breakthrough plays, the pace as well. Manie Boks got a bit of everything. So I think Manie and Sasha might be the 2 fly-halves going forward. But we'll have to see when the time comes, because Handré Pollard didn't have a bad season for the Bulls in my opinion. But moving on to the centres, 3 of the most experienced centres in world rugby. Damien de Allende, Andre Esterhuizen and Jesse Kriel. These guys have been playing together for a while now. De Allende and Kriel are the most capped Springbok centre combination in the history of Springbok rugby. I'm pretty sure it will be those 2 guys together, with Andre Esterhuizen potentially playing a hybrid role from the bench. Andre Esterhuizen has become one of the most important players for the Springboks by far. I mean, this guy's got everything. He's got a kicking boot as well. He can kick for the poles. People forget about this. He can slot it from 60 meters out. Good kicking for the line. Plays like a good loose forward now as well. He was brilliant against France and Ireland last year. And once again, one of the informed players in world rugby currently. So he's got to be in the 23. But I do expect De Allende and Kriel to be the 12 and 13 going forward. But I would love in the future to see a bit of Ethan Hooker and Andre Esterhuizen maybe for one game down the line, because for the Sharks, I thought they were very solid together. And talking about Ethan Hooker, going to the outside in utility backs, this is where it gets fun. So much pace out wide, so much skill, so much X factor, players that can play all around the field. Curtly Arendse, Apelele Fassi, Ethan Hooker, Kewan Horn, Cheslin Kolbe, Kanan Moody, Edward van der Merwe and Damian Willemse. I mean, wow, that is pure quality there. 3 good fullbacks in Apelele Fassi, Kewan Horn, and of course the first choice, Damian Willemse. The wingers, we have Curtly Arendse, we've got Ethan Hooker, Cheslin Kolbe, Kanan Moody, Edward van der Merwe, and I think all these guys will get an opportunity, but I don't know if those first 2 games there will. I think the first 2 games against the All Blacks will probably be where the decisions are made for the strongest choice team. And if the series has to go to a 3rd game, we'll probably stay the same. But if the Springboks win the first 2 games, I expect the last 2 games of those kind of test matches, the 3rd game, the final game of the series, and of course the 4th game in America, for there to be a lot of changes. But whatever happens, all these players should get an opportunity, and whoever does play, anybody can play. I see a lot of people saying maybe Ethan Hooker should come into the starting lineup now. Maybe Cheslin Kolbe should take the kicking reins from now on. There's a lot of things they can do. And for me personally, I think it will be Curtly Arendse, Cheslin Kolbe and Damian Willemse. But I won't be surprised if a guy like Ethan Hooker gets a few kind of chances down the line, because He was brilliant this year. He's brilliant every single time he puts on the Springbok jersey. And a guy like Kane and Moody as well. Every time he plays for the Springboks, he plays some good rugby. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they do select against Argentina. I don't think anybody knows who they're going to select. Will it be their strongest team? Will it be a whole bunch of guys coming back from injury to get some game time? I don't think anybody knows. But I will be doing a video talking about who I think they will pick. And of course, I will be doing a video of who the Springboks should pick against the All Blacks for the greatest rivalry series. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I will get the jerseys hung up because it's going to make it look really nice here. Thank you so much for all the support. What a squad selected. Bruising ball carriers, great scrummagers, incredible players that can turn over the ball at any instant in the game. Game-changing scrum-halves and fly-halves, proper generals on the field as well, the most experienced centres in Springbok rugby history, and flair out the back, and probably some of the best outside backs in rugby history as well with Damian Willemse and Cheslin Colby. So some phenomenal players there. Let me know what you think down below. Unfortunately, there were a few players that missed out. Evan Roos, Embros Papid, other guys as well. I mean, there's a lot of guys, Andre Igufente as well. There's a lot of guys that did miss out. Let me know what you think of that down below. Let me know which combinations you'd like to see as well and down below in the comments, and which players you're the most excited to see. Thank you so much for all the support. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.